Hey guys, I've never really made a video like this before. Basically looking at doing some upgrades to my Ronin, and I wanted to talk about some of the components that are now listed on the DJI website that I haven't really seen many videos on YouTube about, whether it be instructional or demonstration wise. So here I've got the auxiliary power adapter. Now, according to their website, it's like a dummy battery with simply a positive and negative connection on the end of it, with no plug or fitting or adapter for it. So that's going to be the first thing I'll be looking at. Secondly, here we've got the power distributor. Now, the idea behind that is it's meant to sit between where the intelligent battery would usually go in the back of the Ronin, and it adds a DTAP connector in between, which you can then run to AC power to power your camera, which will obviously help bring the weight down a little bit on the rig. And with the way I'm hoping to set it up is I'll have the Ronin with this power distributor in between and the auxiliary power connector on the top. Along with this, I've also ordered the Ronin grip, which basically turns the standard Ronin handle into a ring configuration, similar to the Movi Pro. And to go with this, I've also ordered these two items, which are from Cinemill. They are basically feet that go at the base of the Ronin ring, and these are shoes for that. So they're advertised as all-terrain shoes, which will allow you to put the Ronin ring down onto any surface, whether it be sand, snow, rocks, and help keep the rig stabilized, which will obviously keep the weight off you instead of having to hold it the whole time, which is great. And finally over here, this is a cheap little DTAP connector that I ordered off eBay, which I'm hoping to connect to the auxiliary power adapter, all being well. The power adapter, I believe, is rated as long as it's between 12 volt and I think maximum of 26 volt. So provided the DTAP is connected to an output that doesn't exceed that, we should be safe. So the next thing you'll see is these products unboxed, and hopefully dive into it a little bit more from there. Alrighty, so here are the products out of their respective packagings. As you can see, all the stuff from DJI is packaged together really nicely, as is the stuff from Cinemill. So starting at the top corner here, this is the auxiliary power connector. It looks like it has a 2-pin LEMO style connector on the side. You've got your power button at the top here, and the idea is that this is to slide down into the back of the Ronin as the normal battery would. And then over here we have the cable for it, which looks like it's got the same 2-pin LEMO style connector on it. But if I can focus here, on the other end you've got the positive and negative red and black wires, which I'm hoping to connect up to the DTAP plug, which is this here. You'll recognize these from the side of a lot of V-mount style batteries and other power distribution units in these sorts of setups. And that was, I think that cost about $2 Australian on eBay, so it wasn't expensive. Up to the second DJI item here, this is the power distributor. So the idea behind it is this one here. As you can see, it's got the same PTAP, DTAP connector on the side. This is to go in where the battery usually would, and then this is to slide in on top. So this acts as an item being sandwiched between the two. That'll just add an extra power option, which can be mounted, and it comes with the mounting screws and what looks like a mounting adapter sort of plate there as well. Just a quick side note on this, this is actually the support carousel that's meant to support the auxiliary power adapter. Normally on the Ronin there'd be a much larger one with a trigger to release the intelligent battery, but as you'll see later in the video, this is to be removed before the auxiliary power adapter can be connected, and it is replaced with this one I'm holding now. Then we come down to the feet for the Ronin ring, which I'll be getting to next. So the base of the ring would go through here, and it wears them, as they suggest, like feet, and these are the shoes that are to go with the feet. So by the look of it, these will just slide on and mount like that. Comes with some screws, and this will stop the rig from falling over when you want to lay it down. And then finally, back where it was, and then finally we've got the Ronin grip, which is basically the ring. So you'd recognize the same sort of connectors from the top of the original Ronin. These are the two joiners that go between the two ring pieces. Very nice packaging here. And this is the base part of the ring. So once I go through and put all these pieces together, the next thing you'll see, hopefully, is the ring assembled and the rest of these bits put together the way they should be. Alright, so before I jump too far ahead, what I've just done is I've attached the shoes, the Cinemill shoes, to the all-terrain feet with just two Phillips head screws. Looks like you need an Allen key to remove the top bolts in these to connect them to the base of the ring. One thing about this ring grip that I've noticed is it's very, very, very lightweight. There's almost no effort to pick it up at all, which is great when you're working with a heavy camera setup. And the setup of this was very simple. Simply counterclockwise spin these to undo them and loosen them, and then clockwise to do them back up. The next thing you'll see is my dog, but more importantly, you will see these two components joined together, hopefully with the D-tap connection on the end of the power lead. Alright, so I've just attached the feet to the Ronin grip ring, and I've angled it slightly forwards so that the balance is correct when there's no camera in it, so it doesn't tilt backwards or fall over. Now there is one problem I have already encountered. I did contact DJI support about this originally, and they said there would be no issue, but I guess they weren't fully aware of this. However, as I have the pan and tilt extension arms, which is this piece here, it means that the main carriage area is brought backwards to allow for a longer camera. However, the size of the ring seems to block the edge of it from turning, which could be an issue for some people. Hoping that doesn't cause too much of a problem, but just a heads up for anyone that's thinking of using the grip ring in conjunction with the Ronin extension arms, you will probably come into the same situation as I now have. Alright, so this is the second day now. Since yesterday you might notice some differences. Firstly, managed to get a D-tap connector put onto the end of the power cable for the auxiliary power, which then runs up to the Ronin itself. And as I was describing, now have the main body of the Ronin, the power distribution pack in between, sandwiched, and then the actual auxiliary power dummy style battery on the outside. Now this has two D-tap connectors on it, which allows me to have power running to my small HD monitor, the 702, on the top, which is mounted using the GyroView or GyroView heavy duty monitor mount. And just a quick side note, I plan on having the other DTAP connector running to the camera itself so that everything can be powered off the one V-mount battery. Now, one problem I did come into was the fact I didn't realize that the Ronin grip, the ring diameter, is the same as the Ronin M now. So no longer is it 30 millimeters, it's now down to 25 millimeters, which means any accessories that you have for the full-sized Ronin will be too big to fit on the grip ring, as the diameter is different. So the way I've managed to get around this is the grip ring itself came with two rubber shims that were spaced at the base near where the feet were before, which I've taken off the base and added to the top so that the normal accessories can be mounted. This means, unfortunately, I'll need to wait to get a couple more of these shims, which I'll have to order online, before I can do the final V-mount plate attachment and get the rest of the system up running in conjunction with the Ronin DJI thumb wheel. So unfortunately that will have to be in the next video while we wait for the rest of the bits and pieces to arrive. So just to recap, the Ronin grip ring is the same outer diameter of 25 millimeters as the Ronin M, and therefore any full-sized standard Ronin accessories, which usually use a 30 millimeter diameter, will be incompatible without using a shim or a rubber grommet to space the difference in the diameters out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I will have the rest of the accessories as well as the camera mounted as a full setup. See you next time.